I'm fighting Toph. Toph gonna punch me so hard. I turned back into documentary hugs. The boxing announcement for Ludwig's boxing event, where I am now boxing Toph. So yeah, I am replacing this person on the left, who publicly is in some shit. Look, I'm gonna let you all look it up because I'm just not gonna get involved in this shit. But I'll let you all look up why Sardosh is no longer in the fight. It is public. You just got to look it up a little bit. How did this fight happen? Let me tell you. Remember the other day when I said I was joking around and I said I had a lunch meeting with Atrioc at Ludwig's Melee tournament. I was hanging out with him and talking, and then I go, you know what, Atrioc, would you mind if we ever if I ever picked your brain for some content thoughts or whatever, because you're doing great. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. And then he goes, yeah, we should meet up, have a beer or something, and then talk content and stuff. This was going to be my dinner with Jay-Z moment, where I said I was going to change my life by going to dinner with Atrioc or lunch with Atrioc. And then even after we talked, it was a really good conversation, and I made this joke tweet saying it's pretty much just a copy pasta of the, I don't know if you all have ever read it. Press 1 if you have, but there's a person who went on Twitter and talked about how if you were given the option of $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z, you should take dinner with Jay-Z. It's not a boomer meme. It is so recent. Hold on. This is a real tweet. It says, I'll explain since most can't comprehend. Dinner with Jay-Z is the better option over $500K because of the knowledge and expertise he has. He'll give you the blueprint on being wealthy and successful. His knowledge will be worth more long-term than the short-term $500,000. The blueprint, chat. So I just copy-pasted that shit and I put it down and I replaced Jay-Z with Atrioc. If we're thinking in terms of analogies here, Jay-Z to Atrioc is as $500,000 is to $50. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of fair, right? I think even Atrioc would agree. So I changed the value, right? I had to make it my own. And then here's the kicker, chat. Here's where it's really funny. I changed dinner to lunch. Genius. I know. Yeah. So going to dinner with 10,000 Atriocs is the equivalent of going to dinner with one Jay-Z. Yes, the math checks out. Would you rather fight one Jay-Z or 10,000 Atriocs? I'm more scared of the one Jay-Z. Here's how the boxing match happened. So while we were hanging out, talking content and all that, after we were done talking, I brought up Nathan Stans and his boxing match, and I said, yo, I can't wait for the Ludwig boxing event because I'm going to bet on every single smasher, including Stans. Stans is not like a competitive smasher, but I consider him a part of the smash community because I've seen him at so many events. And he knows so many of the smashers. He's a smash guy, right? In my mind. I talked to him at the Ludwig Smash Invitational, and he was telling me about his training. And then I also know that he trains with Motherfucker here in the chat. Daniel, he's the homie. And I've also heard good things about his... Wait, maybe I shouldn't say publicly. Okay, the dude hits really hard. Okay, he hits really hard. So, I'm hearing all this, and I'm like, dude, Stan's got this in the bag. Okay? Most gamers, and I'm being serious here, most gamers do not know how to be as sweaty as Smash people. Okay? They just simply, especially content creators, they just show up, they make some jokes, they turn off the screen, they go to sleep, and then they make $1 million, okay? Content's fucking easy compared to Smash Brothers. They're all grinders. They obsess. They're sweaty. So I'm like, Stan's got this. All the Smashers got this. Now, Kalindi versus Fiction, that's Smasher versus Smasher. It's tough to say. Spud versus, who is now Toussaint, Smasher versus Smasher. That's tough to say. I'm just kidding. Toussaint's gonna f him up. Holy shit. Have you seen Toussaint? Fit, tall, the reach is crazy. I think Toussaint takes this, for sure. So I was just talking about who's gonna beat who, how the matches are gonna go, and we move on from Stans, and then I go, oh, Toph is definitely gonna win. And then I am then told that the match might not happen. Sardosh out, and now Toph needed an opponent. And they couldn't find an opponent. And it would break their heart to have to tell Toph that he couldn't fight after prepping so much. Toph is a grinder. He's working hard. You know he does. And they had to break it to him that nobody would fill in for the fight, and thus the fight would have to be canceled. As soon as Atrioc told me that, instantly, I was like, oh, I'll do it. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I literally do not have to think twice about it. I will do it. And then he goes, well, you only have a month to prepare. I'm like, that's fine. In my mind, the majority of the legwork is in becoming any sort of athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like you're grabbing these gamers and then you're telling them they got to box. I think the first 2 out of the 3 months that they train is going to be just being any kind of physically like fit. They have to get from a base level of 0 to just at least competent, and then they could train. Whereas with me, I'm already like in decent shape. I already know how to play chess. A bunch of the leg work I feel like is gone for me, and then I could just strictly focus on just getting good at boxing, like technique and stuff, right? So I said, yes, Atrioc, I accept. And he goes, okay, because I can make a call right now. I'm like, do it. All right. So then he calls Ludwig, right? And then Ludwig, you know, starts asking some questions. He's like, oh, Hugs is down? Okay. You know, how much does Hugs weigh? I told him 168. He goes, okay. He goes, what's Hugs' rating in chess? I told him my rapid's like 1350. He goes, okay. Then he goes, how old is Hugs? And then Brandon starts laughing. He's like, dude, are you serious? Do you actually want me to ask him that? And then Ludwig goes, yes, ask him that. So then Brandon goes, Hugo, how old are you? I go, 36. And then Ludwig goes, laugh out loud on the phone. So then Brandon starts cracking up. And then he goes, yeah, he told me to laugh out loud on the phone. I'm like, cool. Like, he didn't even need to know that, by the way. That has nothing to do with the boxing match. He just asked me how old I was. There is no age restriction in a boxing match, okay? And I'm not that much older than him. There is no rule against senior citizens boxing, okay, chat? Drop that shit. All right, so then I say I accept, and now all they need to do really is well, they have more things to take care of, but they need to ask Toph. They need to make sure that Toph is cool with it. So then he ends up talking to Toph. With that, like, I didn't know when he talked to Toph. All I knew is that he would talk to Toph. And then later that night, I'm talking like 10 p.m. And this is while Summit is going on, right? I get a text from not Toph, but from Vish. And Vish sends me a text that says, how much can you bench? Question mark. That's it. That's all it says. What an odd question for Vish to send me at 10 p.m. while he's at Summit. I say, not that great. It's my weakest lift, but 225 pounds. Why? He goes, haha, no reason, XD. I say, LOL, is Toph asking? And then Vish responds with, I'm just looking for some inspiration, man. You've been looking great! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then he doesn't say another word. And then I ask again. I'm like, wait, is he asking because he's still deciding or because he's accepted and no one has told me yet? He ignores the question and he goes, do you do a lot of cardio? What's your height? I say, bitch, if you don't answer my questions. Okay, then you fast forward, right? Ludwig gives me a call, tells me that the fight is all but secure. He just has to take care of some last minute things, but that Toph is down. So I find out through Ludwig that Toph is down. And when I tell him that JK just found out from Ludwig that he did accept, and then I answer his question, I say, I don't do a lot of cardio, but I absolutely will be. And I am 5'7", rounded up from 5'6", 6.5, because you have to. That's what they teach you in school. If it's at 5 and above, you round up. So I am 5'7". And then you know what Vish responds to that? After I tell him about my cardio and my height, he goes, we should go out drinking soon. Maybe get some In-N-Out. I heard the fries are to die for. And then I go, haha, Vish, okay, cool. How much does Toph bench? And then he says, like 20 pounds, I heard. Wow, you got this. Skip the training. Fucking Vish. He's supposed to have my back. So, people were wondering if we're in the same weight range, because he does look skinnier, but he is taller. Like, I think he's 5'11", which adds a whole lot of weight. Like, height makes a big difference. I tweeted this thing where I said, please note, Toph and I are currently only 4 pounds apart, so there are no weight concerns about our fight. Yes, I am big, buff, and muscular, but I am also 4'11", so the weight evens out. I can't tell you how many people believed this. It's actually upsetting. Multiple people were like, oh shit, I didn't realize you were that short. Oh, 4'11". It's like, what the fuck? How many 4'11" guys do you know? Do you think I'm one of them? That is very short, chat. That is very short. Now, nothing wrong with being short. I'm just saying, as a dude, my life would be over if I was 4'11". So I am not this short, but I was shocked that everyone thought I was actually this short. Yeah, so that's how it actually happened. It's actually kind of freakish how this turned out. You know what I mean? Like, I literally had to be at that lunch with Atrioc at that exact moment for this exact topic to come up. And it actually had to be Toph's match. Because if it was someone else, right? Like, let's say it was Spud. That's kind of a mismatch. I weigh too much and he is pretty tall. I am a little worried though, chat. Because Phil came up to me and he gave me some words. He's like, yo, Hugo, I didn't think you'd be a boxer. I'm like, well, why not? He's like, I was like, you know, I got a build for it. Like, I could box. I could probably hit things. He's like, yeah, but I always felt like you like your face too much to be a boxer. And I'm like, shit. Well, I found out that Phil actually boxes, so he knows. He knows that my face is at risk, and I do like my face. I like my teeth. I like my face. Am I, like, do I have to worry? Toph gonna punch me so hard. I turned back into documentary hugs. So the way it works is you get like a minute on the board, and then you do 90 seconds in the ring, and then you go back to the board for a minute. So basically, you know, like the rest that boxers normally get where they sit on the little stool in the corner, that's gonna be spent at the chessboard. Okay, so there's a world where he just starts blundering. On the board, I play the French defense. In the ring, I play the Mexican offense. Dude, what's funny is that I've been getting double checked every single step of the way, and people don't really understand how down I am. When I talked to Atrioc about this, he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, 100%. And then Ludwig calls me. He's like, hey, so, you know, how % sure are you about doing this fight? I'm like, 1,000%. He's like, whoa, are you serious? And then afterward, he makes some calls, and then he texts me again. He's like, yo, so if you're still down for the fight, I'd love to have you. I'm like, yes, 1,000%. And then I get asked again later, who was it? I think it was Phil. He's like, hey, you sure you want to do this fight? Like, everyone keeps wondering if I really want to do this fight. Toph did too. He's like, yo, so are you in? I'm like, dude, I thought I said it like a million times. I am so in. It's insane. Also, people don't know about me in invitationals. I go full sweat. I go real try hard, and I miss competing. It's just that I don't really like practicing in Melee, so that's why I don't do Melee right now. But you're telling me that I could train for boxing and compete in a ring. I am stoked. I already wanted to learn boxing anyways. People were questioning you too. But I wonder, are they questioning Fiction? Are they questioning Toph? Dude, we're the buffest ones. Why are they questioning us? We're the buffest dudes in the Smash community. Why are they questioning us? Ask Fiction. What do you mean? Go ask Spud. Here's the thing. Everyone put me side by side to Toph to check my reach. I'm not even half an inch shorter than his. My reach is far. Oh, this is not like a good look, right? Okay, so look, I am, let me clear up. This is me doing the reach, okay? My reach is long and my legs are long. It is just my torso that is just compact. That's what makes me short, chat. I am a 5'7" man, body-wise, right? I am a 6' man trapped in a 5'7" body. Like, my legs are long, my arms are long, and then God was just like torso compact. We'll see what kind of explosive muscle I have. By the way, so like I did my first training session yesterday. Yeah, like, so my coach taught me a couple things. He told me that what I want to do, like, if you think about it, the rest of your arm has a lot more muscle than the muscle in your fist, right? So it's better to punch like this so that the force is coming from the wrist, right? Which gets all of this, right? And then I was also taught to put my thumb inside of my fist to give a little more cushion, right? If I am gonna punch with my fist, right? So like, so it doesn't hurt as bad for the rest of my arm. Yeah. So I'm getting taught a lot of shit. It's actually really dope, and I'm learning a lot. But no. I actually did do my real lesson yesterday, and I did learn. I learned my jab. I learned my cross right, my left hook, because I'm right-handed. And this is much better than the lessons that Vish was trying to give me when I went to Summit, where he was telling me that if I hit him in the nuts once, at most I'm gonna get a warning. But the impact of the nut check is going to last for the rest of the fight. And Vish is right. Vish is actually right. It's too bad that a lot of Smashers won't be there because of Smash World Tour. That's kind of sad. But anyways, I'm going to be putting out a lot of content in the coming months. I don't know what yet. Like, I am going to put out a trailer. I am going to obviously be tweeting a bunch about it. And it's going to be so sick. I'm going to train like crazy for it. I'm already dieting. I'm going to be putting on lean mass. So I'm just, I'm keeping a similar amount of calories, just slight deficit. But yeah, so you're going to see a lot of content coming up on that over the next like month. I'm excited. If you're in the LA area, you should get tickets. The tickets are on sale. It's going to be a dope event. Like, just imagine seeing Smashers boxing while you're drinking some beers, hanging out with friends, cheering, betting, side betting. Like, it's just going to be a good time. Everything about it is perfect. I want to learn how to box. I want to be involved in like bigger content production stuff. This is like an opportunity in my mind. I want to win because I know how much better it is to win on a stage like this, right? It's just like everything about it is perfect. Would you rather get embarrassed in the chest part or the boxing part? Oh, Deju, come on. Come on. Well, number one, I don't plan on getting embarrassed in either. But I think everybody knows that getting decked in front of like tens of thousands of people is way more embarrassing than getting checkmated. I've been checkmated real nasty on this stream, and I live to see another day. But if y'all saw me get knocked out, yeah, it's literally like a proclamation to all women on the planet. Don't fuck this guy. He got knocked out by Toph. Don't fuck this guy. That's literally, that's what it is. I can't get knocked out. I can't. I have to do everything in my power not to. Toph standing over me like, whoo, like that Muhammad Ali photo. I can't do it while I'm just like fucking decked out. Teeth on the floor. No shot, chat. I can't let it happen. Would you fight any other Smashers in the future? Well, well, Dignitas, just because I have this boxing match set up with Toph does not mean I'm thinking, huh, which other Smashers can I punch in the fucking face? God damn it. I am not 4'11". Do I look 4'11"? Look at my height. Hold on. This is just so you can see the full length of my stature. So that's the boxing event. I will be coming out with more content on that for sure in the next couple days and weeks. Hello, f you. Okay. You know, that's chill. I'm gonna ask Ludwig if I could just throw on like a helmet. Like maybe like a biker helmet. Can I have some of that?